Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the race preview for this Friday meeting. First race is the Bulpalli Plate to be run over 1100 meters. Number one is Alpine Girl. This race for maiden fillies only. So it's a terms race for fillies, 3-year-olds only. Alpine Girl, who ran fourth in her previous outing in race number 125 behind Exclusive Luck. But this run came in 29th of January. I think only 6 days in this run coming for Alpine Girl. She should take on this. Earlier 2 runs off the board, but she has shown remarkable improvement, finishing fourth by a margin of 3¼ length. Number 4, Bellagio and Virang are the 2 runners. They ran in race number 105 and they over a 6 furlong trip. And Bellagio finished on a mighty second, according to me, where it came from behind to bridge the gap from 6th position at the turn and finished on second. This was the fancied runner. Inquiry has been open into the running and riding of this runner. The Arthur was the winner, whereas the other runner, what we saw, Virangna, finished far away 6th. Number 5 is Lights On. This runner has already 3 runs, front runner, but this particular run sat third, and after coming into the straight in the last 200 meters, weakened to finish 6th. The horse lost her shoes during the race. That has to be taken into consideration. Number 6 is Meridia. Meridia, she ran in race number 84. On debut, finished on 6-2, Happy Go Lucky. After that improvement shown here, finishing third by a margin of 2 3/4 of a length behind High Reward, but galloped well, ridden hard, but she was falling a little bit short when you can see when the winner and the other one was too good. Second race of the afternoon is a Janggaon Plate to be run over 1200 meters. This race for maiden colts and geldings, 3-year-olds only. So number 2 is Carlisle. Carlisle having 2 runs. On debut finished second by 2 lengths to High Reward, but here little late on the scene, finishing third behind Almas, who was too good on the day, who won it by 4 lengths. So Carlisle, even though has 2 on-board runs, has to take on other 9 runners. Few of them are good, who are working well, but on the merit of consideration, if you see the run benefits, Carlisle is a one everyone have to beat. Number 3, Fast Track, and number 10, True Icon are the 2 runners. True Icon ran in race number 117. So too is Fast Track, whereas it finished on 9th, and True Icon finished on 2nd, covered enormous ground behind. Air was running with a big margin of 10 lengths. At the post, it was just 3½ lengths. So late warmer being True Icon gather momentum nicely to bridge the gap and finish second. Fast Track today sporting tongue strap and running over the extra 100 meters, both the runners. Golden Inzio ran in race number 84, finishing 6-2 High Reward. This we have already seen this run with Carlisle finishing on Meridia towards the fence. But looking at the run of Golden Inzio, little behind, initially up with the pace, then drop back to finish 6th. Jack Daniel, race number 105, after finishing in race number 33 in a million race 8-2 Princess Dhaka, improved performance we can say, finishing 5th by a big, even the margin is big, Arthur winning it by 2½ lengths. But looking at the run of Jack Daniel with towards the fence with gold and pink sleeves, even though ridden out, took time to warm up and finished on 5th. Third race of the afternoon is the second division of the Falaknuma Cup to be run over a distance of 7 furlong in category 2 for horses rated 20 to 45. Number 1 is Indy, who ran in race number 112, finishing third behind Garnet. Garnet too good on the day, winning it by 3 lengths, 3/4 of a length behind. The second horse was Indy, who covered a little bit of ground, warmed up a little late. Earlier run second by a margin of 3½ lengths to Paladino. So knocking at the door is Indy, now carries the top weight of 60 kilos. Number 2, Marcer, number 3, Mireya are the 2 runners. Mireya, the rank outsider in this race, who has paid the richest dividend of nearly 595 for this win, came with a very powerful surge, tackling the leaders and battling it out all the way, joined by Battle Ready, whereas Marcer a little late to finish 5th, but this Mireya was best of the lot to get it by a neck. whereas Mossa missed the start by a couple of lengths, gathered momentum and came and finished on 5th. Number 4 is Sweet Melody, who was far behind the field and took time to warm up, covered ground to finish 6th behind General Atlantic. Good win for General Atlantic, getting it by half a length, whereas Sweet Melody took time to warm up and finished on 6th. Nolan ran in race number 62. Came with a run to challenge the leader but could not stay and backed off, hard ridden and finishing 5th by a margin of nearly 3 lengths. Winner Too Good by 2 lengths, but it was a close go for the miners. Within a length, 4 runners, and finishing 5th was Nolan. Earlier run 10th, so remarkable improvement shown from a 7 furlong where it finished on 10 to finishing 5th over a mile, back to 7 furlong. Number 6, Quality Warrior. Number 9, Sport on Fire are the 2 runners. Sport on Fire ran in race number 129, finishing 12th. No form to go by. Earlier run 14th in a 7 furlong trip. Shorter trip of 5.5 furlong, 12th, and back to 7 furlong today. Whereas Quality Warrior, on the other hand, started well, finishing 3rd by 1.5 length to Galvan. Later on, fancied once and off the board, and in a same class, couple of runs in a different distances: mile, 6 furlong, 5.5 furlong. All the runs 5th, twice 5th, and once 10th. Mile could not stay on, whereas back now running for the 7 furlong here. It has already run twice over 7 furlong, finishing once 3rd. Number 8 is Flight to the Stars, whereas Royal Support ran in race number 74, finishing 11th to Abel Lau. Flight to the Stars ran in race number 97, slow at the start by a couple of lengths, finishing late 6th to Warrior Invictus. Ridden hard was Flight to the Stars, but still took time to come and finish. Number 10 is Horse of War. This was the most expected runner. A lot of hopes on this runner, but never delivering the goods. When you look at the runs, already having 6 starts, 12th, 9th, 11th, 10th, 9th. But in this particular run, missed the start by a couple of lengths, covered ground to finish 5th. You can see it's with its head still up, so a little bit firing up in the straight was Horse of War, finishing 5th behind Soul Empress. This is the time to win. Ran in race number 131, 2000 meters trip in class 4. And finished on 8th. Earlier tested over 5.5 furlong trip, 10th. When you look at this runner, having 6 starts, various distances from 5.5, 6 furlong, 7 furlong, 7 furlong, 5.5, 2000 meters. So what's the right distance for it? Everyone has to know it, whether it will win it when it wins tomorrow or it performs well over 7 furlong. Fourth race of the afternoon is the second division of the Rangareddy Plate, to be run over 1200 meters in category 3 for 5-year-olds and upward, rated 20 to 45. The special one, who ran in race number 75, bursted blood vessels when the pressure was applied. The horse could not take on it, and then so showed that unable to run. Ridden hard, we can see, but still, as it bursted blood vessels, because it was a fancied runner, and Sacred Lamb, being a winner, came coming very wide and nailing down the front runners by a shot. It was Sacred Lamb, but the special one, as I said, due to this, as it bled, could not perform well. Number 2, Rhythm Selection. 4, Sun Dancer. 11, Destined to Be are the 3 runners. They all ran in race number 104 on 20th of January. So 104, Destined to Be, slightly interfered at the early part of the race, finishing 10th out of 12 runners behind Royal Girl. Earlier 3rd by 2 lengths to Royal Girl, whereas Sundancer finished on a very impressive 4th according to me. Earlier 2 runs, 2nd to Star Racer, 2nd to Sacred Lamb. That was run was almost a winner, but lost it on the post. And here finishing 4th, and Rhythm Selection also ran a very impressive run to finish a close 3rd. Next we go to Hashtag, who ran in race number 120, covered ground very much fast on the final stages of the race to come and finish a notable 3rd. Earlier good 2nd to NRI Vision. So creditable performances of Hashtag after winning in a lower class, working hard to get a win in a higher class is Hashtag. Royal Pal ran in race number 114, finished 2nd after winning a class 5 race 7 for long trip by 2 lengths. did his best to defy the penalty, almost a winner, but lost it very close home when Unmatched came with a very powerful surge to beat Royal Pal by 1 1/4 length. Number 7 is Flamingo Fame, who ran in race number 119 over 6 furlong, finishing 9th, whereas Golden Forza, who ran in race number 120 front runner, this race number 120 packed off to finish 6th. Whereas looking at Flamingo Fame credentials, winner in class 5, then later on second in a higher class, but this particular run finished a far away 9 to Royal Grace. Number 9 is Lifetime, who was up with the pace in race number 112, running 4th till the last 250 meters, gradually weakened to finish 10th out of 13 runners, satisfied of beating 3 home. This horse no form to go by, even earlier starts, even though a dasher to the front, could not able to stay even in a shorter trip of 6 furlongs. Number 10 is Prime Gardenia, who ran in race number 108 over a mile. After 2 impressive runs in class 5 as well as class 4 over 7 furlong, finishing 2nd and 3rd, this particular run in a mile could not stay on well, running 4th and fell back to finish 6th behind Nightmare. Number 12 is Lorena. Lorena credentials last season, couple of runs, good one, but in this particular run did not go to the front, came from behind, finishing 12th out of 14 runners. Going by the form earlier, as it went to the front, got beat by a good runner called Southern Act by 3 lengths, and later on in this particular run did not show any form at all to finish 12th. 13 is NRI Blue, the eventual winner of race number 133. This was 30th of January. We are racing on 4th, so just 5 days. Whether it's really easy to complete an encore, that's a question, because the way it won ridden hard and got it by a shot from the fast finishing Inception. So bobbing of the Inception beat NRI Blue on the post. Good run, so but only the number of days is too early for NRI Blue. Ibuck ran in race number 136, ridden hard, covered ground to finish 4th behind Narak Michi. The margin between the first 4 is 2 3/4 of a length, whereas Narak Michi was a very impressive winner here, and Ibuck covering ground to finish 4th. 5th race on this Friday meeting is the first division of the Falaknuma Cup, to be run over 7 furlong in category 3 for horses rated 20 to 45. Number 1 is Pacific Command, the eventual winner of race number 93 over 6 furlong. Rider going for the whip in the last 175 meter. A couple of backhanders was good enough for this runner to accelerate well to extend the margin of victory to nearly 2 3/4 of a length from the fast finishing grand finale. Earlier second on that note, won well here. So that was a sprint. Now going back to 7 furlong. Number 2 is CHAR. This is the one. Race number 100 finished second to Dylan when it was the fancied runner. Here, slightly fancied at 7-2. Missed the start by a couple of lengths. Covered ground, but it was not good enough because could not muster well when it mattered, finishing 9th. Number 3 is Palladino, who ran in race number 124 and finished on 5th in a 6 furlong trip. Took time to warm up with a couple of backhanders, and earlier winner in 7 furlong trip in this class, beating Inti by 3.5 lengths. Later on, the same class, similar trip of 7 furlong, finished on 4th to General Atlantic by a margin of 6. Here, in a sprint distance, took time to warm up, came and finished 5th. Back to 7 furlong, the distance may be suitable for Palladino. Number 4 is Southern Act, who ran well to finish 5th. Still it's head up in the straight. When you look at that, earlier also 5th to Dylan, here 5th to Isra. Once a winner of 7 furlong, mile 3rd in a higher class. So making efforts to get a win in this class is Southern Act. Number 5, Call of the Blue, 7, Dream Jewel are the 2 runners. They ran in race number 138, finishing 7th and 8th. 7th and 10th. Dream Jewel backed off in the straight. Earlier winner was 7 furlong in class 5, could not stay on in the higher class, backed off to finish 10th, whereas Call of the Blue having 2 runs. 1 run did not finish, later 2 runs. Both the runs over a mile, 8th and 7th. So 8 to Campania, here 7 to Despang. So this was a second win for Despang, but looking at Call of the Blue, no form to go by this season. Number 6 is Truth and Dare. This is the runner who ran in race number 100, finishing 6-2. Dylan, going by the form of this runner, riding hands and heels in the last 150 meters, was the rider. Took time to warm up. Earlier also finished on 8th in a 7 furlong trip in race number 66. His rider was fine. Whereas this runner needs consideration here because working well and maybe in a fighting line. Number 8 is Alluri's Pride, who ran in race number 114 towards the fence, ridden hard, but still the horse could not muster well, and the rider reported the saddle slip in the final stages of the race. You can see he's avoiding. He's already easing up his mount in the last 75 meters once he sensed that there was the saddle slip on his mount, so finished on 9 to unmatched. Even earlier runs off the board is Alluri's Pride, so we go to Syra. And first in line, they ran in race number 129. Syra's credentials, after finishing a impressive next second to Miss Little Angel in race number 19. Hard run here, made efforts to repeat that, but still a couple of runners too good, with Loris getting it by head and finishing fourth by a margin of 1.5 length was Syra, whereas first in line, first run here, finished on 9th. Smolensk already having 2 runs here. This is the third run. First 2 runs, both the runs over 6 furlong in the same class, 10th and 14th. So what we can expect from this runner when it has performed so badly. And today, the third run of its career, Smolensk running over 7 furlong again. Sixth race, the first division of the Rangareddy Plate in category 3 for horses 5-year-olds and upward, rated 20 to 45 to run a distance of 1200 meters. Number 1 Max, number 5 Once More, number 14 Ayurtej are the runners. They all ran in race number 120. And Ayurtej being a back marker along with Max towards the fence, Once More deeper out. So Max of the 3 picked up momentum to finish 4th. You can see ridden hard and gathering momentum well. And bridging the gap in every stride was Max. Finally managed to be in the frame by a margin of nearly 4 lengths from top in class, whereas the other 2 runners, that's Once More finishing 5th, 3 parts of a length behind Max, whereas totally out of contention was Ayurtej. 2 Mind Reader, 9 Nearest, and Thunder Road are the 3 runners. They ran in race number 119. So let's look at Thunder Road, the fancy runner at 3 to 1. And Royal Grace was the eventual winner, who was weaving his passage between the runners when Thunder Road, tackling the leader, just got the better of the leader after going stride for stride, surprised by Royal Grace, who came with a lightning run to beat off Thunder Road on the post by a neck, whereas Mind Reader took time to warm up, finished on 8th. And one more runner that was nearest, not in contention that day, finishing 10th. Number 3 is Bedford, who ran in race number 81. Going with the form of this runner, after twice getting withdrawn in race number 5 and 17, finally ran first time, finishing 10th in race number 53 behind Garnet. Later on here, the winner being Gusty Note, who was able to beat Golden Forger by a neck, but Bedford, on the other hand, finished a far away 12th. Sandon Park and Sacred Lamp are the 2 runners who ran in race number 118. Winner is DRD, who took charge from the word go, led all the way comfortably to win it by half a length, with charging on the outside was, I think it was Royal Girl. But looking at Sandon Park, very contentious till the last 300 meters, weakened to finish 9th. Whereas Sacred Lamp, this is the style of running of Sacred Lamp, warmed up on the outside to finish 3rd. Earlier run, 7 furlong, impressive winner, beating Sundancer on the post by a short end. We go to number 8, Soul Empress, the eventual winner, fancied well as it came down in class after 2 7 furlong 1 mile run in class 4. Class 5 run was sprint. It was easy win by 3 1/4 length, beating Fatuma. So gets a penalty of 9 points and also goes up in class over the same distance of 1200 meters. Number 10 is Dunkirk, who finished on 3rd. Late charge by Dunkirk, bridging the gap in every stride when Nightmare was just tackled the leader. That was Sorry Darling. And look at Dunkirk, who was able to bridge the gap, just lost it by 1 1/4 length at the post. Good run coming from Dunkirk after one disappointing run. Number 11 is Queen Blossom, who ran in race number 104. This is the only run where Queen Blossom did not feature on the board. Earlier sprint winner, then a mile third, 2000 meters second by a nose to Philanthropist, then 2000 meter trip fourth to Bold Bidding, but it's the only run over a mile where it finished off the board, finishing 7th. Number 12 is Explosive. This is the runner who covered a little bit of ground to finish 4th behind Unmatched. Look at Unmatched, who covers good ground to beat out the front runner Royal Pal by 1¼ length, Star Cruise. And on the other hand, it was Explosive in the pink colors, managed to get an opening and made use of it and came and finished on 4th. Improved run comparing its earlier 4 runs is Explosive. Number 13 is Theo's Choice, race number 124, and covered a little bit of ground. Furious fun, going on a start to finish bit. Hard effort put by Theo's Choice along with the Angel Eater to catch Furious Fun. Little late, still finished on 3rd. The rider lost his whip at the crucial stage of the race. Friday meeting 7th race is the G. Vasudeva Reddy Memorial Cup to be run over a sprint for horses rated 40 to 65. Number 1, Manili. Number 4, Amira. 7, City of Bliss. 9, Rising Queen. They all ran in race number 107 over 1100 meters. Consistent performer being Manili after once off the board. Other 2 runs. Third by 4 lengths in race number 40, then third by 1½ length in race number 57. Here the fancied runner took time to warm up, came and finished 5th behind Unsung Hero. Very powerful run of Unsung Hero, beating the front runner by a neck, whereas other City of Bliss finished on 10th, was seen wanting. Amira is the one who ran a hell of a race to finish 3rd by a margin of 2½ lengths. And we go to number 2, Mind Reader. Number 3, All Time Legend. Whereas Rising Queen in race number 107 did not reproduce the run what it had won a race and finished on 2nd in a class 4. Class 3 turned out to be a very difficult task for Rising Queen. We go to Kingston, who ran in race number 76. Fighting it out every inch of ground with stunning fours, bobbing of the heads. It was a battle of the 2 to the post, and finally stunning fours nose down Kingston on the post by a shorted. Very impressive runs of Kingston. Earlier also 2nd by a head to Watch My Stride. Number 5 is Shazam. Shazam took time to warm up and finished on 6th. First run of Shazam here, and was seen for a run required to get the experience of the turf. I think can run a better race after this run, whereas All Time Legend finished on 6th. Number 6 is Angel Eater. This horse was lugging in very badly. You can see rider pulling it out on the left side and with a couple of backhanders, then went the horse, pushed hard, but winner being too good, that was Furious Phone, just kept on going and bridging the gap and just finished neck behind was Angel Eater. Number 8 is Life Song. This is the fancied runner. Rider has been suspended, where Abe allowed the winner. Look at Life Song, the way it has been ridden, and that was a questionable ride for which jockey has been suspended. Earlier winner beating NRI Sport by shorted, then in a sprint distance, little distance short, but still ran 2nd. Number 10 is Lockhart. This is the horse who ran its heart out in race number 128. Last 2 runs are very impressive. 3rd in his previous outing to Royal Grace by a margin of half a length. Here 2nd by a length to House of Diamonds. Came with a lightning run but fell short of a length. Number 11 is Mark My Word. This is the horse ran in race number 122 over a sprint distance, being a backmarker all the way from the word go, behind in contention, finished on 10th in a field of 10 runners. So nothing we can expect from this runner. No form to go by, having earlier 3 mile runs and 1 2000 meters trip off the board in all the starts, including this mile, where run 4 mile trips off the board. Gregor Clegane is the next runner, who ran in race number 98 and finished on 2nd. Towards the fence, Gregor Clegane has taken the charge and beaten by General Atlantic on the post by a half length. Earlier winner in class 4, 7 furlong trip, and in the same class finished on a notable 2nd. So tried with a lower weight in a higher class is Gregor Clegane today. Last race for the day on this Friday meeting is the Mancherial Plate to be run over 6 furlong in category 3-4 horses, 5-year-olds and upward, rated up to 25. Number 1 is Bedazzled. Produced on the scent of the course, Bedazzled ridden out but still took time to warm up and finished on 7th behind General Atlantic, who beat Gregor Clegane. We have seen this run where General Atlantic came powerfully to beat the long-time leader General Atlantic by a half a length. Next we go to Blazing Jupiter. Blazing Jupiter ridden out with it sheepskin cheek pieces of light green color, with a rider giving a backhander from the left. The horse started to win. Rider was forced to stop whipping and then push hands and heels. Took time to gather momentum and finished on 6th. Comparing its earlier 2 runs, finishing 11th and 10th, little improvement shown here by Blazing Jupiter. Dead center, totally dead in this race. Number 119 finishing 11th out of 11 behind Royal Grace. Even though rider went flat out, the horse could not gather momentum. Earlier run, race number 25 finished 14th out of 14 runners. Then 1 run withdrawn in race number 59, and here ran 11th. Lockstiller ran in race number 118. Slightly interfered in the early part of the race, finishing 5th, was behind DRD when DRD went on a start to finish bid. Then the Lockstiller up with the pace, but in the last 100 meters started to weak out and totally faded out to finish 5th by a big margin of nearly 5 lengths. Number 5 is Look of Law, who ran in race number 130 and took time to muster well and finished 8th, just beating 1 home. Suddenly veered out when the front runner started to come out in the last 200 meters. Winner being Proud. This is the monsoon run, so running for the first time this season is Look of Law. So no form to go by in monsoon. So first run we have to see what it's going to do. Number 6 is Stark Southern Lady, also is coming for scrutiny. This is race number 116. And Stark being the leader, gradually overhauled by the one more runner, but Blue Label came with a very powerful run. Stark ridden hard to stay there and finished on 3rd. Consistent performer being Stark, 2nd, 4th and 3rd. That's the way it has finished here. With a Southern Lady on the other hand, after finishing 4th in a 7 furlong sprint, shorter trip off the board. We go to NRI Ruby, race number 143. This was won by Bedazzled. And we are looking at City Queen. The next runner is City Queen, I think so. Race number 110, Acadian Angel being the winner. But here it's NRI Ruby, that's a monsoon run, which was won by Bedazzled. We go to City Queen. Acadian Angel took charge from the leader and kept going, even though a couple of runners started to bridge the gap, including City Queen, ridden hard, running 4th, and fell back a place to finish 5th. Comparing its earlier run, where she finished 10th behind one more time. A lot of improvement shown by this runner. So extra 100 meters maybe to the advantage for City Queen. Number 9, Rhine, and number 10, Hip Hop are the 2 runners who ran in race number 133. Suddenly showing improvement is Rhine, who was ridden hard. You can see the rider relentlessly whacking in the last 200 meters to get a place. Finally got a 3rd place behind Inception, who beat off the front runner on the inside by a shot at neck. The 3rd was Ryan. Hip Hop finished on 10th. We go to number 12, Star Walker. Star Walker ran in race number 103, finishing 6-2, Soul Empress. Going by the form of Star Walker, this particular season having 7 starts, only 1 stirred over a 7 furlong in Class 5 behind Team Player, and off the board in other starts here 6th. Pari ran in race number 72, finishing 7-2, Royal Girl, running 2nd, and rider going for the whip in the final stages of the race. Once he sensed it was running empty, but could not take out anything extra from this runner, she packed off to finish 7th. So that's how it ran. Only 1 run for Pari this season. Earlier race number 29 got withdrawn.